Hi friends, welcome. This is Archangel. Christmas beyond Santa is ripe with traditionalist indoctrination. It's all about family and loved ones. Though commercialism reigns supreme during the Yuletide season, the holidays are overwhelming in their traditionalist solicitation of family, 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 family. Indeed, we are so overwhelmed with the indoctrination of traditional family that some males will knowingly chain themselves to the slavery of gynocentric culture just to have this holiday holy grail, family. Moreover, there are many awakened males that will plug themselves back into the matrix in order to fit in and have somebody to share the holidays with, since, well, everybody knows that you can only partake of the love and peace and joy on earth if you have the laughter of children and a partner who will pretend that she has romantic attraction to you, so long as there are dozens of shiny gifts under the tree with her name on them. We are so overwhelmed with the family sales pitch every day, yet we are bombarded with this traditionalist indoctrination ad nauseum around the holidays. We are assaulted and inundated with traditionalist symbols of home, hearth, family, spouse, romance, all this traditionalist ideology that single people are shamed into finding someone, anyone, so they won't miss out on the eggnog or kisses under the mistletoe or the 4th of July parade or Thanksgiving feasts. Even strong males going their own way sometimes find themselves faltering in the alleyway leading from Thanksgiving all the way to Valentine's Day. And even if they don't, they are made to feel less somehow because they are solo, like they are allowed to observe holiday merriment from the foyer, but not granted entrance to the chapel of complete holiday enjoyment, unless they have somebody with candy cane earrings to kiss and hold by the fire. This brainwashing is absolute. You need someone to spend this super special time with. Otherwise, you're missing out on all the fun. Being single around the holidays is portrayed to be like going to a 3D movie, yet not wearing the glasses. You're not getting the full, ripe, vibrant experience unless you're a monkey jumping through hoops to put a bird on the table and trinkets under the tree in order to prove your warm, fuzzy feelings to family and loved ones. I see a lot of singles less than merry around the holidays. They clutch tenuously at any romantic partner in sight, and they put up with crap in December that they wouldn't put up with in August, simply in order to have a warm body to cling to when Noel comes a-callin'. By the amount of bah humbugs I see from single males at this time of year, this tells me that males have bought into all the oppressive gynocentric holiday brainwashing, and they are discouraged because they don't have a female to validate them and give them permission to enjoy the season. Why can't people be merry and bright all by themselves? Why can't males don their gay apparel all by themselves? Why can't they ride in a one-horse open sleigh all by themselves and feel fulfilled and happy? Well, actually they can. The fact that they don't is because they have subscribed to all the shaming tactics pushed by a male devaluing culture. Now, Valentine's Day is a blatant, glaringly obvious exploitation of Males' Day. It is a malevolent and shameless display of male usury, misandry, and gynocentrism. Yet all the other holidays follow suit, pushing romance and family onto males, shaming them into their place as servants, binding themselves to the old male devaluing ball and chain, family, in order to fully enjoy any holiday. By tying males to family, we subjugate them to utility. We are a male devaluing species, so we need to tie males to utility and servitude. And all this holiday shaming of "you're missing out unless you have a family or a romantic partner" is simply more propaganda thrown at males by the vaginisty in order to sway them into societal utility. Traditionalism is gynocentric and misandristic because it pushes family onto males, which compels their servitude to protect and provide, and this thrusts devaluation and disposability onto them whether they like it or not. Family is this pie-in-the-sky ideal that we compel males to strive for, and males must devalue themselves and accept expendability in order to chase this super magical marker of happiness that we label family. Now, let's go back to Christmas and consider another angle. Many traditionalists will get angry at all the Frosty and Rudolph and Santa themes, voicing objection to the commercialization of the sacred holiday. Yeah, well, guess what? Even if we contemplate the true reason for the season, we are led to misandry and male disposability yet again, since the reason for Christmas is to commemorate Christ's birth. Yet Jesus represents the male plight as well. Yeah, really. I mean, think about it. Why do we celebrate Jesus? Do we rejoice because he was some male child born in a barn? Do we sing carols because he had value simply for being a living creature? No. We remember him because of what he came to do. Again, males, whether human or gods, have to do something to gain relevance in this world. Jesus came to teach, to light the path, to reconcile sinners, to spread love. We honor him because of his works, the words he taught, the miracles he performed. He had to walk on water. He had to make dead fish and inert bread loaves multiply in order to feed huge crowds. He had to chase money changers from the temple. He had to turn water into wine. We honor him for what he did, not because he lived and breathed or preferred rye bread over wheat. He wasn't glorious for being. He was glorious for doing. Moreover, most veins of Christianity proliferate the dogma that Jesus had to be abused and suffer exceedingly in Gethsemane and on Calvary for the wrongs of others. Jesus fits the male plight to a T. We use males for their utility. Then they die. Jesus came to teach. Teaching requires labor. Jesus performed miracles. That requires labor. Jesus came to spread love. That requires labor also. Jesus traveled far and wide to administer to people. This, of course, requires labor. Jesus was to suffer for the sins of everyone else who was not him, and suffering is very labor-intensive. Then he dies. How fair is that? Why didn't a goddess incarnate to labor, suffer, and die for everyone? Why didn't God send an only begotten daughter to save everyone, especially since we currently hold females as the epitome of love and compassion? Thus it would be in her nature to come and labor and sacrifice and die for everyone. You see, males are forever suffering for others. Males are, and always have been, the whipping boys for all of humanity. Now, regardless of ideological dogma or theology, the fact that Mary simply is celebrated because she fulfilled her biological function of giving birth to offspring, whereas Jesus is only celebrated because he was purportedly a God incarnated that had to labor, then suffer and be tortured and die for the little ants that he came to save, this is an outrageous insult. Furthermore, representations of Jesus in some various state of suffering, this invokes a deep anger. It taps the same anger that male devaluation and disposability also triggers, since we use males to suffer and die for the rest of the world. I get righteously angry when I see males, whether Jesus or everyday brothers, being abused and suffering. I watched The Passion of the Christ some years ago, and I had a hard time making it through that. I do not like seeing others suffer. Yet in a gynocentric society, who does most of the suffering? Males. Thus I detest seeing males suffer. But hey, what are shovels good for? Males are only relevant by doing. Males have to prove their worth. They have to earn their value. You see, it's not just Christ, but famous males throughout history and time are only rewarded modern-day recollection because of their labors. They had to do some work, accomplish something. We only acknowledge males for their utility to others. Is it any wonder that we are obsessed with asking males what they do? We reserve judgment over their worth until we assess their utility. Oh, you're a doctor. Well, okay, I guess that you earned the air that you breathed today. You are a convenience store clerk. Yeah, well, you're a useless consumer of vital resources. So we need to shame you into a family so you may better feed the societal meat grinder. Jesus, Einstein, Gandhi, Tesla, we only know these names because of their works, the things they did. We don't remember them simply for being alive. We couldn't care less about their day-to-day feelings, or their favorite foods, or the colors that they fancied. The names of these various males only command household utterance because of the utility that they provided, which happened to have great impact upon humanity and shape the world that we currently inhabit. Males simply fulfilling their role as utilities of protection and provision, these utilities are not individually remembered. Who remembers the lives of ordinary shovels? A male must do extraordinary works to be even worthy of mention. There are countless males throughout history who have toiled to build everything that we know and given their very lives in protection of others. Yet we do not know their names. They are drowned out by the billions of other irrelevant names of males who were used up and then discarded throughout history. People don't remember the individual squares of toilet paper they wipe their rear ends with. It is simply a tool to accomplish an end. Males are simply tools of labor and protection. That's all they have ever been valued as. Females, on the other hand, are imbued with infinite value simply for being. Females are cherished and pampered simply because they exist. Mother Mary was exalted simply for being a mother. And in order to be a mother, she must exist. So she is exalted for existing. And Mary receives more reverence and worship than Jesus in many cultures, even though Jesus did all the work. I see more tattoos of Mother Mary than I do of Jesus. Oh, sure, I see plenty of cross tattoos, but again, this signifies what Jesus did. He died for others. Moreover, I see mural tattoos of Mother Mary just standing there in infinite feminine exaltation, whereas by contrast, tattoos or statues or representations of Jesus usually show him hanging from the cross or a crown of thorns around his head or in some stage of suffering. This points out our societal theme. Females are worshipped for being. Males are memorialized only because of suffering or something that they did for others. This is an insult to Jesus. Still, the theme is clear. We signify honor of Mary for being and honor of Jesus for doing. I'm not saying females do nothing, but females are valued and remembered whether or not they do anything. I am told of Gandhi because of the works he did. I know of Cleopatra simply because she existed and apparently was attractive and manipulated people and events with her beauty. Stephen Hawking is known for the works he has done, especially despite a debilitating illness. Kim Kardashian is known simply because she is. Einstein had to come up with a little nursery rhyme called relativity. Paris Hilton will be remembered for existing. Martin Luther King Jr. is remembered for what he did, not because he was a man of color that once walked the earth. Females are bestowed value and worth by being born. Males only gain relevance by doing something for others. We represent male birth as an unwarranted mercy from females, that males need to spend the rest of their lives paying back to females. Male childhood is simply a grace period during which males are indoctrinated into offering themselves up as slaves of utility when they reach maturation. When males talk of their legacy, they are conceding utility and disposability. You have to do to be remembered. Otherwise, you'll end up a nameless Kleenex like all the other cumbersome, unspectacular males. Males subconsciously grasp their plight as worthless shovels, and this is why many males cherish progeny as proof of their life. A physical footprint demonstrating that they were there, that they once existed in a society that couldn't wait to put the last shovelful of dirt over their useless, non-utility producing corpse. Anyhow, I still love the duality of the season. I like the Santa and Frosty lore as well as the recounting of Jesus' birth. Yet either way, the representations are floridly gynocentric and male devaluing in their depictions of male disposability through utility. Whether it's a man in a red suit laboring tirelessly to hand-deliver gifts to demanding ingrates, or whether it's a man who had to perform miracles and ultimately be tortured and crucified for the benefit of others, either way the paradigm is crystal clear. It is males giving, doing, laboring for the betterment of others. And when men are only recognized for the works that they do, we are inexcusably usurping their divinity and majesty as human beings, reducing their worth commensurate to the labors that they perform. Take a look at any great male throughout history, and you'll recognize a pattern of bestowing value to that male based solely upon his utility, his accomplishments, what he did, even if it was negative deeds. Most people wouldn't pay any mind to some pint-sized French national, or some angry dude with a funky nose and a claustrophobic mustache. But people do remember Napoleon and Hitler because of what they did, whereas I remember Helen Keller because she was. Still, Christmas, Jesus, and Santa, these are all beautiful celebrations of this season. I am simply pointing out the limitless purview of male disposability in every little nook, cranny, tale, or parable of human existence. My friends, stand with me, live free.